Hey there, welcome to Main Street Living. I'm Cheryl Nelson.
Hey guys, I'm Quincy Carr.
Hey Quincy, good to see you today. And Danielle is off today, but she'll be back with us next week. So we're looking forward to that. But Quincy, I hear you have some big news about the lottery.
Yeah, I have some big news, and it would be even cooler if Danielle was here so I could pick on her about her not winning any of it.
Oh, all right. What did you win? Tell the story.
Like in 2013, me and a coworker of mine, we started playing this lottery pool, and a bunch of people dropped out, and it ended up just being me and her. So we've been playing every Tuesday, a specific lottery game every Tuesday, and every now and again we'll hit for like $7 or $10. And this time, Cheryl, okay, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
$200. We actually hit for a good 200. Yeah. So we took that and we, split it, and it was the first time that we didn't just say, just put the money back into the lottery next week. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what I'm spending on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Quincy. And I have to ask, do you play the same numbers every week?
Yes, so it's the same 5 numbers. We've been playing it every week, every Tuesday since 2003. So imagine. And the reason why we haven't stopped is because I said I don't want to be the person that stopped and then wondered what if we kept playing.
No, you can't.
And so,
you can't.
Yeah. So now I'm committed.
I mean, $200. Hey, that's more than I've ever won in the lottery.
Really?
Yes, the lottery and me. I mean, I'm happy if I win $10. Because normally you get like $1 or $2. And so if I get 10, I'm like, but 200, I would have been screaming. So way to go.
I played some scratches. I've won, like on some scratches, 500 and 800. But hey, it doesn't stop me from doing the show. I tell you that. And speaking of that, we got a great show lined up for you all today. We're speaking with a beautiful 8-year-old who's changing the world. We're making ice cream, and we're rediscovering Rhode Island, Cheryl.
I'm excited about that. I love to travel, and making ice cream sounds like fun too. But first, we're going to start with a story about remembering a basketball legend. So stay tuned. We've got a great show coming up for you today.
Welcome back to Main Street Living show. Recently, the entertainment world suffered a sudden passing of Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman, and now an important basketball legend has left us.
I know, it's so sad to talk about, and we're talking about John Thompson. And joining us now to remember the Hall of Famer in sports journalism, Kevin McNamara, is here, who wrote for the Providence Journal and interviewed John Thompson many times. So we really appreciate you joining us today on Main Street Living.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So I know that John Thompson was the best known as the coach for Georgetown, right? But he was also a great player, wasn't he?
Well, it's funny that gets lost in the shuffle, Cheryl and Quincy. He was a great player at Providence College in Rhode Island in the early 1960s when the Friars won NIT championships in 1961 and 63. He left the school as the all-time leading scorer and scoring average player in Friar history when they had Hall of Famers like Lenny Wilkins, Ray Flynn, really, really good players. And then he went on and he was a backup center to Bill Russell on 2 NBA champion Boston Celtic teams. So had a really good playing career before he decided to go into coaching back in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, when he went into coaching, I mean, his legacy will live forever as a Georgetown coach because eventually his son started to coach as well. But talk a little bit about his time at Georgetown.
Well, when he was hired in 1973, Georgetown was not on the basketball map. This was before the Big East, before really Eastern basketball had a definition. And John Thompson instantly became a magnet for kids throughout the East, and especially in that D.C., Virginia, Maryland area. And within 3 years, he had them in the NCAA tournament. And when the Big East was born in 1979-80, John Thompson was ready. And in 1981, he happened to secure the rights to the recruiting rights to the very best player in the country, the kid by the name of Patrick Ewing out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. And sure enough, Patrick led the Hoyas to great heights and went on to become a Naismith Hall of Fame player.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So John Thompson in the Hall of Fame. How does he rank with the greats of the game?
John had a great coaching career. There's no two ways about it. The actual basketball part, he's best known for one of the very best defenses, aggressive, in-your-face, man-to-man, end-to-end defense with great rim protectors. Think of some of these big men that he had. Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning. All three are in that basketball Hall of Fame, and all three played under John Thompson at Georgetown. I'd say in that 1980s, mid-90s era, it's Dean Smith, it's Bobby Knight, and it's John Thompson. Those three probably a cut above everybody else.
Yeah, and John Thompson was very influential in a lot of the inner cities as well. And I know that he stood up for a lot of, inequality and racial discrimination. When you interviewed him, did he speak candidly about those experiences?
Oh, there's no question. He was known as Big John for a reason. He carried a big stick, 6'10", big guy, loud leader. He protested before protesting was cool. The biggest thing was in 1990. He walked off the floor in protest of a new NCAA rule under discussion that was called Prop 48, where all incoming students had to have a certain SAT score in order to access a scholarship. And John thought that the ACT and SAT were racially biased, which 30 years later, I think everyone is accepting that that's the fact. Coach Thompson was certainly ahead of his time. And when he spoke, people listened.
Oh my gosh, I wish we had more time to talk about all of this, but our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends. And thank you so much for joining us today to share his legacy. You're
welcome. And I want to add my condolences as well. His son, John Thompson III, was a very successful coach at Georgetown as well. And God bless to his family.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much again. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, it's been a big question mark regarding if high school football returns this fall. And in fact, some schools are playing while others aren't. And you can even see some of those games right here on YurView's Game Time. Joining us today to talk a little bit about that is Chris Ackerknecht and also Rod Thompson. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Doing good. Doing very well.
Good. Now, Chris, I understand you are the manager for YurView's live events. And with sports coming back, we can watch some high school games and rivalry games on YurView's Game Time. But what has happened so far this season and what's coming up?
Well, so far, normally we would have a 75-game schedule in place. The world has seen through COVID how that has changed and evolved throughout the course of the summer. Our weekly meetings every week has been, are we playing? Who's playing? What's it look like in your market? So instead of a normal 75-game schedule in place right now that would include Louisiana, Tulsa, Omaha, Oklahoma City, Phoenix, some games in New England, some games in Vegas and California. Right now, we're looking at about a 30-game schedule that's confirmed. We're starting late in Phoenix, and we're starting late in Louisiana, the first week in October. So we had week one last week that Rod was part of. So that's been the big challenge is, how are these school districts dealing with COVID, and are they playing, aren't they playing, and how are they keeping kids and fans and coaches and everyone safe?
And that's the interesting part about all this, because there's so many moving parts. You're talking, production crew, you're talking players. And Rod, your Game Time's analyst there on YurView.com. And of course, we're all excited to see sports come back. But I know there's some real concerns about safety for the players as well as the production folks. What changes have been made?
Yeah, a lot of changes. I mean, of course, we did the game from the studio. Being separated 6 feet apart in the studio with masks on to make sure everybody's safety is intact. And, of course, doing it not there at the field. But, I mean, I think in our area, one of the things that we've been looking at that's going to be interesting down the road is we've already had a couple of games here. Schools have canceled games because, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate through this with having one kid on the field, one kid on the team that plays and after a game tests positive. And so right now, some key matchup games, thankfully not our games. Good job, Chris and guys picking games. But but they've had a couple of marquee games that's going to be in week 1. Last week was 0 week that have been canceled. And also that those teams are going to be canceled for 2 weeks. So 2 games that are pretty, week 1 or week 2 of your matchup games. So that is something that is a concern that everybody is looking at from a revenue-based standpoint, is something to look at. But on our end, just a little different and making the adjustment, doing the game with the mask. But we understand that it has to be done.
And one thing, Quincy, to understand with our production model is the shows that Rod calls, they're called remote or REMI models, being the games are, the production crew is in a control room in Kansas City, Missouri, and Rod and his whoever we partner hit that week, they're in a remote facility. They can be typically now they're in a Cox building. They're not in the stadium at large. So the advantage it gives us is they're not crammed. We're able to social distance these folks. They're not crammed into a press box with 1,000 people. It's almost impossible, even in a college press box, to keep people.
Yeah, and I can imagine how that just kind of changes, the entire dynamic of just the experience, the live experience. But Chris, what are some of the ways that the fans can watch the games? Are there any options here?
Yeah, well, if you're a Cox customer, we have games on Friday night. So if you want to watch on your linear channel, you can find a game every Friday night. We also replay games on Tuesday night. If you're not a Cox customer and and also if you want to watch on your phone or your laptop computer, you can download the Contour app. And watch games live through the Contour app. If you're not a Cox customer, we direct people to watch.yourview.com, and we have a subscription service for folks to watch any and all of our games. You can watch them on replay. You can order a download. So we have an app in development right now. So you'll be able to watch our games on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. So that's coming down the pike shortly. It's still in development. We've been working with Vimeo on this device. So it's exciting for Rod, I'm sure, as well, to have his work seen, through all these devices. So.
Well, fellas, I mean, it is so good to, just hear and understand that sports is making a comeback the safest way that it can. And so we certainly appreciate you guys bringing it to us live. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Quincy.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. One thing I love to see, and people who know me know this, I love to see the humanity in others, especially when it comes to not judging one's current situation, Cheryl.
Yes, I completely agree with that, Quincy. And our next guest, I love what she's doing. Her name is Olivia Drew Tyler, and she's been calling out injustices basically since she could talk. And when the pandemic hit, she thought, how can I help people less fortunate than me? And so she and her parents are joining us now to tell us about OliviaDruCares, her latest project. So I want to welcome Olivia, mom Linda Kay, and dad Andrew Tyler. Wow, welcome to Main Street Living. Good to see you all.
Welcome.
Hey guys,
thank you for having us.
So Olivia, I'm going to start with you. Tell us, how did you get interested in helping other people?
Well, I've always wanted to help the homeless, as you can know, ever since I was a 5-year-old. And so today I'm trying to earn enough money to build a hotel where homeless people can come or go as they please. So no one shall be homeless anymore. And so every day I look around, sometimes seeing homeless people or something bad happening to another person. So that is all about to change.
That's good.
Wow.
That is good. Now to the parents, what was the special concern to Olivia specifically once the pandemic hit?
So when the pandemic first hit, her concern was, we need to purchase these houses. And I told her there's no way we can afford them. And then we're from Illinois. And so the governor put in an order, Governor Custer put in an order as of May 1st, that homeless people need to be, or all people need to be covered. And so Olivia actually came to me and said, well, how are the homeless people going to get covered? And so since I couldn't buy a house for her to actually house the homeless, I said that we could start with, why don't we get masks? And and we will sell masks. And for every mask that we sell, then we will give one away to the homeless. So that satisfied her.
Oh my gosh. And it's so important to give back in any way you can. I mean, it doesn't matter big or small, you're making a huge difference in the lives of those people. And Olivia, tell me about some of the masks that you're making and the people you're giving them to.
Well, we did buy some masks at the store, and these are the original ones. But since we were also running out of lots of different types of masks, we made our own. As you can see, the one that I made is the one that my dad's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
The original
Look
one
at
was
that.
like this.
Oh,
Wow.
what is that? What is on the hand there? What is that?
Well, the hand is my hand, also it's in my mom's hand. And it stands for, and it says world on all the fingers. And so it stands for the world and what we can do to help. And as you can see on the bottom, you might be able to see OliviaDruCares and a heart. And that stands for God will not flood our earth. That stands for the rainbows in it. And God
You are brilliant, and you're like way ahead of your time. Now, I have to ask, especially, as a father, I'm a father of a daughter, Andrew. How has this attention, like how have you all managed this attention and as parents as well as you, Olivia?
You know what? We're very humble, and Olivia will tell you, I'm not a superstar, I'm not a rock star, I don't want a bunch of fame. But we've had arguments with our little 7-year-old at the time, now 8, and we were telling her, well, how are we supposed to promote OliviaDruCares? And we were explaining to her about marketing, and she's embraced that now. So be it the Today Show or WGN or whatever the platform, she's been very humble, willing to speak to people. Also, more so to the point of a godliness aspect where kids her age can do it too. So she has what's called the Narwhal Club. She's a fan of narwhals, as you can see, got a little unicorn here. But, she likes whales and specifically narwhals, and she has her own little board of directors, and they come up with ideas. And it's a trip.
Yes. Oh, I love it. She's such an inspiration to everybody. And as parents, I can't imagine how proud you are. Olivia, you're already a star. You're going to be a superstar as you keep going. Where can people learn more about you, and where can they buy the masks?
Well, they can learn more about me and buy some masks at my website, OliviaDruCares.com. You just look it up, and there it is. You press the home button, and it takes you straight to where you can buy the masks, and also a blog on it, so you can learn more about me and what we do.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's her blog. She does the blogging. I do the typing because obviously we're arguing about her learning how to type. But she'll tell me what to say, and she
But keep in mind, she's just started 3rd grade. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, she just literally just started 3rd grade.
Right. This is mind-blowing, guys. It truly is a family project. So thank you all for what you're doing, and I know you're all very proud. We appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Bye, Olivia.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Summer is not over yet, Quincy, and I think a favorite treat for a lot of people is a nice cold ice cream cone.
Yeah, Cheryl, here at Main Street Living, we're all about learning some really cool things during the global health crisis, of course. And we're certainly excited to share with you a new partnership that we have with Arizona Science Center. And each month, we'll be exploring different science topics and bringing you ideas and experiments for fun learning and opportunities. And here with us today, we have Sari Custer, Chief Science and Curiosity person there at the Arizona Science Center. How are you today, Sari?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, we definitely are happy to have you on here because you'll be showing us something really neat and cool. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the Arizona Science Center and what you actually do there?
I can. So for anybody who has never been to Arizona Science Center is a great place to learn about science, get excited about science. We've got 4 floors, 300 hands-on exhibits. We've got topics ranging from physics to weather to human biology, the brain. And we've always got traveling exhibitions that rotate out. Right now, we've got a fabulous T-Rex, the first time it's ever been seen, a real T-Rex. We have a 6,500 square foot makerspace, a full dome planetarium, a giant screen theater. The list goes on. We've got amazing demonstrations and activities where people can just get connected with science and have some fun with it. So it's a great place to be.
Oh, science is always fun. And I love how you mentioned weather. Of course, being a meteorologist, I lit up when you said that. And I also love your title. How did you get that?
Well, we were thinking about curiosity, and as the chief of science and curiosity, not only do I oversee science at the Science Center, but I have the chance to help get people connected on a daily basis to the science that's all around us every day, make it relevant, make it fun, and help us to just look at the world around us and get connected and understand it a little bit better, and do so in some really fun ways.
Yeah,
that is nice. Now, you're supposed to be showing us how to make some ice cream today. It looks like you got some pretty cool ingredients right there.
Yes, let's do it. I'm so excited.
I sure do. Right, and you got to have a little curiosity, right? Something like this has to start sparking some questions. But who doesn't love ice cream? Question number one: have you guys ever made ice cream before?
I've tried it. It didn't come out too well.
So it can be really difficult, but this recipe is really, really easy, and you can do it with ingredients you likely already have in your house, or you can get really easily at the grocery store. So everything from milk, heavy cream, vanilla, sugar. We need a little rock salt, some ice, a couple of zip top bags, and really that's it. It's a super, super easy recipe. So let's just get started. And the first thing you're going to need is your heavy whipping cream. So when you do that, you're going to start with half a cup of heavy whipping cream and your small zip top bag. So you need a small one and a big one, like a sandwich size bag. Half a cup of heavy whipping cream.
Is there a specific type of whipping cream that you actually use?
Just heavy whipping cream is fine, whatever you can find in the grocery store. And you're going to add a half a cup of milk. Now, if you don't have that, you can use a full cup of half and half. Or, okay, get this, you guys. You can actually use like a coffee creamer if you're in a pinch. And I've done it. It's actually delicious because it has all those flavors already cooked right in there. It's fantastic.
Wow. Oh, that's kind of fun, actually. There's all kinds of fun.
It makes for a lot of fun. Now, of course, you want it sweet, and don't skimp on it too. You want it, you need the fat and you need the sugar. So about a tablespoon of sugar. You can use up to 2 or even more. Go with the taste that you like because it matters what the flavor's like, right? And we're doing a vanilla today. If you want to add other flavors, you can. So about a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just going to pour a little in there. I'm going to eyeball it because I like a lot of vanilla. And that's really all you need in there. If you're going to add chocolate sauce or strawberries, you could do that right now too. Zip up your bag, squeeze out a little bit of the air because we're going to end up shaking this bad boy and you don't want it to pop. But you're going to set that to the side for just a second. You're going to grab your big zip top bag. And the other thing you need, if I didn't mention it, is ice. So I've got about 2 cups of ice here. You're going to pour about half of it into the big bag. You're going to take your ice cream base that you made, toss it in here, and then pour the rest of the ice on top. And then you're going to take your rock salt. I've got about a heavy half cup here, and you're going to pour that in the bag.
Wow.
And now we're going to talk about what's going on while I zip this up. And this is all about states of matter. Now, if I asked you guys, our liquid, or I just gave it away there, our ice cream base, what state of matter is it, solid, liquid, or gas?
I'm going to go with liquid.
Yeah,
liquid.
Good answer there.
Good answer. All right. So if we wanted to get it to be ice cream, what state do we want it to be in, solid, liquid, or gas?
Solid.
Good. So we want it to be more solid. So what we're going to do here by adding that salt.
We've got about a minute left, by the way.
That's perfect. So we want it to get really, really cold. And by adding the salt, we actually lower the freezing point of the ice. So it's called freezing point depression. It's the same idea as why we put salt on icy roads. If you've ever lived anywhere like up north where it really gets icy, and it helps to keep that liquid water liquid as opposed to it icing over. So here it robs the energy and it helps keep that ice really, really cold because the ice cream, what temperature does water turn to a solid? Do you guys know? That's a really good question.
That should be 32.
32, you got it. Or 0
I was about to say below 30.
It actually has to be about 27 degrees for your ice cream to turn to a solid. So you're going to take all this up, you're going to shake it for about 5 minutes, but we don't have 5 minutes. So of course, we've got TV magic right here. I've got one that I already did ahead of time. And your ice crystals are going to form. You're going to have all of that churning in the little bag, and it's going to get nice and solid on you. You're going to see your liquid turn into a solid that is absolutely delicious. Let me squeeze this out into my color.
How fun is that? Where can our viewers go to actually get this recipe and learn more?
All right, so all of this is online at azscience.org. And of course, you can check out our Connect at Arizona Science Center platform where you can learn a ton of science at home. And of course, the important part, I got a spoon here, I got to taste it.
That's what I was going to ask you. You can't leave us without eating some of that.
Okay, it's so good. And next time we'll have to have you make it in studio so you can try it too. But just try the recipe. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, I'm putting
Thank
chocolate
you.
in mine. I don't know about you, Q, but thank you so much.
You know, a
for
little bit
joining
of
us.
chocolate and caramel.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you
no
so
problem.
much, Sarah.
No, thank
All
you
right.
guys. This is fun.
Welcome back to Main Street Living, Cheryl. We all know who loves to travel more than you. No one, right?
Okay, I was going to say, yes. That's right, Quincy. And, you know, we've been featuring some businesses from Rhode Island lately. And today we're going to be going to rediscover Newport, Rhode Island, which is finally reopening with safety precautions in place. And we're going to feature another really cool business today. And this is a town that I really need to go to. I want to bring in now Ann Rowe. She's the co-owner of Rowe and McCarthy in Newport, Rhode Island. And already I'm looking at the trinkets behind you there and the art, and it looks so cute. Thanks for being on the show today.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to our discussion.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I know that you're the co-owner actually with a sibling, and this
Yes.
goes back a long time. I mean, we've got a cute picture of you guys from when you were little kids.
Very little. As you can see,
Oh my goodness. Which one are you?
I'm in the middle of the girls.
That is so cute. And
Yeah.
you're with what? Your brother Ed, is that right?
Yes, he's the youngest.
Oh, wow. He doesn't look too happy in that picture, but I bet he's
No,
happier
he
and you
doesn't.
guys have a great relationship today. So what made you guys decide to open a shop together?
Oh, we had talked about it for many years. And actually, we went to our local community college and took a course on opening a business. So that was kind of fun to do.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very interesting. And then we started our search for a place to have our business. And we decided we were both retired and we wanted to have a place where we didn't have to pay rent. So we found a nice business condo and we bought that. So
That
that's
is
really
genius.
helped during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pandemic.
I mean,
Yeah.
for sure, if you don't have to pay rent, I mean, that is brilliant that you did that. And the name Rowan McCarthy, what does
Yes.
that mean?
That's our grandmothers, both of our grandmothers' maiden names, because we were having a little difficulty trying to decide what the name should be. But my brother thought of that, and I just thought it was perfect.
It is. It's a family affair all around. And let's now talk about some of the items that you have in your shop, because when I travel, I love to go shopping and buy local art and other trinkets.
Yes, as you can see right behind me, I am featuring a local artist, and she was in visiting today, so we have established lots of connections within the community, and we have repeat customers, so it's been lots of fun to open.
Yeah, so you've got some artwork, and what other things can I find in there?
Oh, we have antiques, we have found items, and we have lots of new items too. So you get your choice. There's lots of things to choose from.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some of the birds behind you on the fireplace.
Yes.
So do you have a lot of coastal decor?
A lot, yes.
Awesome.
have
What other
some-
coastal artwork do you have?
Oh, we have lots of ships. We have a local artist who actually just does outdoor scenes, and they're just very popular.
And so how do you decide what exactly to put in your shop? I mean, there's got to be so much to choose from.
There is, especially in Newport. And we attend estate sales, and I go to auctions. We also go to trade shows in New York and also in New England. There's a New England Made show that we attend. Well, not this year, but most years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. COVID kind of putting a damper on
Right,
things this year.
right.
But you guys are open, and I assume you see tourists and locals both?
Both, yes. It's an area we live in where the shop is. The neighborhood is called the Historic Hill. And there are many bed and breakfasts and hotels right in the area. So people do a lot of walking in Newport because it's quite limited for parking. So we get a lot of walk-bys, and now we've established quite a few new, not new, some regular customers that come in quite often, and they become our friends. So it's great.
Oh, that's always the best when you
Yeah.
can meet people and make new friends out of it. And I
Right.
love you can get some exercise too, walking around Newport and checking out all the beautiful
Yes.
scenery and shops and B&Bs. And where can people learn more about you, and can they order online?
Well, they can, but we don't have we have so many unique items, one of a kind.
Oh,
So
so
it's a
best
little
to come to the store.
difficult to have backup. Sometimes we do, but not often.
Yeah, but
we
you
do
know,
have a website. And
Okay.
we're on Instagram and Facebook.
that's wonderful. And sometimes the best, I think anyway, is to shop in person and be able to see it
yes.
up close and personal. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
So you are such a sweetheart. Thank you so much for being on the
Oh,
show today.
Thank you. It was nice to see you.
You
I
remind
hope
me
you
of my
come to
grandma.
Newport.
Oh, yes. I'm definitely going to have to come up and visit. We appreciate
Great.
you being here.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Shelter to Soldier is a California 501c3 nonprofit organization that adopts shelter dogs and adopts them out to post 9/11 combat veterans suffering from PTSD and other disorders. This is such a moving package. Take a look.
I am confident. I am within a 90 percentile sure that I would not be here during these times to do this interview, even be around if I didn't have BASH. So I am extremely, extremely thankful that I did find Shelter to Soldier.
Shelter to Soldier is a California 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is essentially saving lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters and rescues all throughout Southern California. We're training those dogs for 12 to 18 months to become psychiatric service dogs, and then we're placing those dogs at no charge with deserving veterans in need.
Joined the military right out of high school, joined the Marine Corps, went through combat training, and my MOS was crash, fire, rescue. So if airplanes crash, vehicles, things like that, I put on a spacesuit and basically put out a fire, rescue people. I had the unique opportunity to deploy to Afghanistan. I felt like I left a part of me after I deployed, like I didn't feel the same. At that time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't want the stigma, I didn't want any of the broken merchandise, so to speak, label. Eventually, you have to get out of the Marine Corps sometime. And because I never addressed the things that I felt, the things I've seen, after getting out, I just felt like I didn't have any real options, I guess. Everything just felt so hazy, so murky, so it wasn't clear what I should be doing. During this time, I just felt so hopeless, helpless, lost. The more I tried things, I just felt more frustrated because I'm trying all these things and they're not working. So one day I just had enough of it and tried to commit suicide. Lo and behold, that didn't work either. I became more frustrated. It was absolutely mind-rending to feel stuck. What skills do I have? What can I do? How can I leverage what I've done with where I want to go, feeling how I feel? So I went to private military contracting without the plan of coming back. The Taliban couldn't kill me and I couldn't kill myself, so what was going to be my outcome? What was I going to do? I felt like I was just slowly suffocating, and at that point it was okay with me. I didn't care. I just, at this point, just wanted to burn out and left foot in front of the right foot until the left foot didn't come after. So I went to a VA's group therapy for post-traumatic stress, and they're handing out a bunch of papers. I wasn't really paying attention. And I remember as I was leaving, one of the other attendees there, he was just like, "Hey, have you heard about Shelter to Soldier?" And he's like, "What is it?" Like, "Hey, just give him a look." Okay, yeah, fine, whatever. I had gone to work and I found in my backpack, the VA's paperwork. Just took a look at it. I was like, "Oh, let's see what this is." Shelter to Soldier. I could feel my anxiety really start to kick in as I clicked on the application to see if I would be a good fit for them.
we have heard so many times, I just need a little bit of lightness to keep pushing. And that little bit of light will keep me going. It's not just serving that veteran and that dog, but now it's also helping people hearing about it that have served that need this.
I got in contact with Vic, and he invited me down to actually go down to the site for Shoulder to Shoulder. Everyone kind of felt like they understood. I didn't see that look of just judgment. It was empathetic. After a while, I was invited to come back and start doggy speed dating. When Bash came in the room, he just kind of like booped my hand with his snoot and then hopped up and then was just like, hey, I'm here. Like, what's going on, man? So after that, we started training. I really started to get a feel for what he liked, what he didn't like. And as the time went on, I kind of really learned his quirks. And I think he learned a few of mine along the way. It puts a smile on my face just thinking about the training sessions because there was nothing better. You know, together we just put the left foot in front of the right foot, in his case, his paws, and we graduated officially the Wednesday after Veterans Day. After experiencing the brotherhood of the military, after experiencing losing best friends, the relationship I have with Bash is, it's almost like you're taking the best out of all those categories, wrapping it up in a dog, and then having that dog stay with you through thick and thin. It's priceless. If there were other people out there that felt the way I did, I would tell anybody in that situation, even if you've got just that small, that glimpse of light, you know, it could be dim. You're gonna want it, you're gonna wanna reach out to it. Just put out your hand, look for that light.
It's the light that sadly 20 plus veterans a day aren't seeing, and we want them to see. We want this light to shine as bright as it possibly can so that in a similar sense of shouting from the rooftops, we're reaching as many people that are struggling as possible that could utilize our help or our services.
The light's there. It's hard to see it when everything's as black as it is, but sometimes you just gotta look just a little harder.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Another good show today. Quincy, what you doing there?
I got so inspired by the ice cream segment, Cheryl, that I went and made some ice pops. It looks like I got a binky or a pacifier in my mouth, but it's ice pops.
It does look like a binky. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you did not make those, did you?
Yeah, I did. It tastes more like water than it does anything else, but it was like some healthy, like Crystal Light pops. But I got so excited trying to pull it out. I don't know if you can see, I broke one of them. My daughter's going to be pissed because this is hers.
You broke like the blue-green one too.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
that's not good. So, all right, what flavor is it? You said it tastes like water, but
it's like a Crystal Light something. I don't know if it's strawberry,
right,
raspberry blast, something crazy. But it's good though.
It is good. All right. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying that. The only food I have right here are my cat treats, and I'm not going to eat those. So
no, don't do that.
No. On that note, we want to thank everybody for joining us today on Main Street Living.
Yes, and don't forget, we are still highlighting back to school content on YurView.com. And don't also forget, we are mobile. So you can catch us on the go on our YurView app, okay? And it's actually Cox Contour app, okay? You go there, you download the Cox Contour app, you sign in, search for YurView, bam!
All right, and you can catch us again right here at 9 p.m. local time on Mondays on Main Street Living. Join us next time as we take a stroll.